We're bringing a 4-part series. This will be video 4. Be going over tight ends, their rookie draft grades, draft capital projections, and be sprinkling in some of our rankings in there. I'm joined today with my friend Max. He's finally back. Glad to have him back. He'll be asking me a bunch of questions as we go through this 4-part series.
All right, glad to be back. H, thanks.
All right, let's get it.
All right, let's start off with the tight ends, you said. You've been itching to talk about them, so tell us about your tight end rankings. H.
All right, so I like to look at tight ends in a 3-part way. I look at blocking, athleticism, production with receiving, receptions, and route running. In my opinion, none of these tight ends check all those boxes and do it at a elite level. So, for example, if we look at Kyle Pitts coming out of Florida 3 years ago, he checked every single box. He was an elite blocker, freak athlete, and was hyper productive in college. None of these guys in this tight end class do that, in my opinion. And I don't think the NFL should take any of these tight ends in the first round. I personally would not. But if I had to, there's 3 of them that I would. Let's start off with my number 1 guy, Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia. He's my guy, freak athlete. We've seen his numbers from the combine, tested off the charts, and tested off the charts with MathBomb's RAS score. Only issue with Darnell Washington is the receiving production. He was behind Brock Bowers. And if we look at a parallel between another position like Roschon Johnson and Bijan, very, very hard to outproduce a generational type talent in Bijan and Roschon Johnson's case, or very difficult to outproduce Brock Bowers out of Georgia or Darnell Washington. What he did on the field, though, when given the opportunity, he did everything he needed to do, even in the receiving production-wise. Would high point the ball. It was shifty, move outside, open space, yards after the catch. Absolutely amazing. I think he's the only guy I would take a shot on in the first round if I had to. I think he has a ceiling of Rob Gronkowski the next 2 to 3 years. After that, I have Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. The only issue I have with him is he's not a amazing freak athlete like the rest of the guys here. Yes, great blocker, very productive, one of the most productive tight ends we've seen, and he goes to tight end university at Notre Dame. Great, but I think he's Dalton Schultz. He'll get you what you need. He'll do what you need him to do, but he'll never be, in my opinion, that top 3 tight end we want to find in Kyle Pitts, Mark Andrews, and Travis Kelce. I don't see with him at all. Moving on to my 3rd guy we have is Luke Musgrave out of Oregon State. Musgrave is a little small. He does block okay, not to an elite level. He does miss some. He does get shed down, pushed down, but he's willing to try. He does it. He is a freak athlete. Tested off the charts. Had a great pro day. Had great combine. Amazing. Production. He was fairly productive at Oregon State. He did get injured. But when he had the opportunities, he did very well. All right, now we get to some of the guys I have a little bit more issues and more concerns about. And I will wait to see what the NFL does with most of these guys. I know the Dynasty community absolutely loves Dalton Kincaid. I have 2 major issues with him. He never tested at the combine or at his pro day. We do not know about the athleticism at all. And what we do know is the tight end position, there's a strong correlation between athleticism and future production and doing well in the NFL. We just don't know. He didn't do anything. We have no idea. And blocking, the guy would get pancaked, shut down, pushed over. I made a joke and I said, the linebacker out of Florida, when he pushed him down, I was like, that's basically his dad. Dude needs to figure out the blocking because if we look at guys like Mike Gesicki, he's done. He's on the Patriots on a 1 year. We don't want those guys. And we know Mike Gesicki is a freak athlete. We do not know anything about Dalton Kincaid's athleticism. Moving on to Sam Laporta. My tight end 5. Laporta, great athlete, great production, decent blocking. I have him right now going in the second round. I like Laporta. I said a long time ago he's Pat Freiermuth. But is Pat Freiermuth a top 3 tight end? No. If you're gonna burn these picks and use these picks in the late first round, early second round, in the NFL and in rookie drafts, go get the sure thing. Go get Pat Freiermuth. If you're gonna waste a early first round guy on Dalton Kincaid, pay up a little bit more. Go get Kyle Pitts. Go get Travis Kelce for the year. Wait for Brock Bowers to come to your way next year. And some guys, some flyers I'll take a shot on are Zach Kuntz and Lou Schoonmaker. Kuntz out of Old Dominion. One of the number 1 athlete out of all the tight ends ever tested in math box score. He's number 1. Production, it was okay. He does struggle on his route running. He struggles in blocking. He plays smaller than he actually is. I think he'll put on some more size and develop his route running. He does look a little bit slow on film compared to actually what he is athletically. And I think once he understands more of how the defense works, he can break down the coverages and develop into a better tight end. He's a guy you can take a shot on. I have him going right now in the 3rd round. Same with Schoonmaker. I have them both going in the 3rd round in the NFL draft. I think these guys you can take a shot on that will be good players to have that you can put on your team. And then once given the opportunity, they can be good. So, like, if we look at Greg Dulcich from last year, who's on the Broncos, great example of a guy that can develop into a starting tight end with given some opportunities. And the time and the situation and just the development.
What did you think of Tucker Kraft?
I have Tucker Kraft above Kuntz, excuse me. I have Kraft from South Dakota State. I have him going in the 2nd round, mid to late 2nd round. He is a freak athlete. He scored a 9+ on RAS and was very, very productive at South Dakota State. The only issue I have with him, again, on this guys too, is he struggles in blocking. He kind of like Kuntz again. Great athlete, but he plays a little bit smaller than what he actually is. I think if he is in a good situation, gives some time, again, he can develop into a great tight end. He's a guy you can take a shot on in the mid to late 2nd round, even early 3rd. Understand if he falls to the 3rd. I have him right now going in the 2nd round of the NFL draft. But a solid guy you can get. So just to summarize here on my guys right now, we have Darnell Washington, tight end 1, Michael Mayer, tight end 2, and Luke Musgrave, tight end 3, Kincaid, tight end 4, Sam Laporta, tight end 5, and some flyers you can take. I said Kuntz and Schoonmaker. You asked me about Kraft. He's another guy I like too. You can take a shot on late. But a really deep guy, if you need to find somebody, is Brenton Strange and Will Mallory. I have Will Mallory going right now in the 4th round. He's from Miami. And I have Brenton Strange going in the 7th round. I know there's been a lot of hype on him coming out of Penn State. He's supposed to be rising in boards. I still think he goes late. But he's another guy you could take in a deep league like a lot of us are in on Dynasty. You can stash him, put him in your taxi squad, let him develop. All right, and that's the tight ends. That's what I look for in the tight ends. These are my rankings. These are my draft capital projections. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, like, share the video, follow me on Twitter at Dynasty Buffs, and you can also follow my friend Max on his Twitter at FFF Buffs. Thanks for being on the show this time, Max. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for asking me questions. If there's any other questions that you think the viewers might want to ask me?
I think the big one, H, would be if you had to pick one or two, which tight ends do you think will be the quickest long-term starter that they can just plug and play week in, week out? Is that guy here this year?
That's a great question. You know, if you do a roster construction, right? If you have a guy like Travis Kelce on your squad, and you say he gets injured, you need a guy that can replace him and get points on immediately. I think you should take Michael Mayer. I think he's a plug and play guy. He'll get you a nice 10 to 12 points a week. He'll get us nice receptions, and if you're a tight end premium, he'll get you a little bit more, maybe 13 to 14, maybe sprinkling a touchdown here and there. But his ceiling is not going to be as high as, Kyle Pitts, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews.
Okay.
But, if say you got Kyle Pitts, because I'm the Kyle Pitts lover. Everybody knows me as a Kyle Pitts stan. If I got Kyle Pitts, I got him all on my teams. I got to worry about the tight end position for like this foreseeable future. So I'll take a flyer on Washington. I would take one on Musgrave, Kincaid, Laporta, Kuntz, and Schoonmaker relative to their ADP. I would not take Kincaid right now at his current ADP, but if he falls down, into the mid-second round, late second round, then I'll go ahead and happily take him. But if you absolutely need a guy to get you points this year, it's Mayer.
Okay. Well, thank you, H. I think that's probably a good thing to know for the folks out there. That's all I got.
Question for you. I mean, since we're both Cowboys fans,
okay.
We know that they need a tight end. Who do you think they take, man? Do you think they take a tight end in the first round? Do you think they go another position? What do you think they're going to take?
No, I don't think they're going to take a tight end in the first round. I hope they don't take a tight end in the first round. I don't think, as you pointed out, there's anyone in the class that is that dynamic in terms of that you'd want to take a first-round pick, particularly given the talent at the other positions where they're picking. There's still better options, I think, than a tight end, given the class structure. If they had a Pitts, yes, that's one thing. But for who we have, I mean, they're good tight ends, and they're probably going to be playing, some of them, at least the top 3 or 4 picks. But beyond that, I don't think it's still too early to pick one in the first round for that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would not be surprised if the Cowboys take a tight end because it's the Cowboys and they do whatever they want. But they have a lot more pressing issues. They need to help the offensive line. They need a cornerback. I wouldn't be surprised if they went and got a DB. But who knows what they need. Be interested. We'll find out tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Maybe all these tight ends we talked about end up going the first. Maybe, Washington, Mayer, Kincaid, Musgrave, Laporta, maybe all these guys end up going to the end of the first round. That'd be a huge surprise. It'd be like the first time ever we've ever seen tight ends. That many tight ends go in the first round. It'd be very interesting. All right, and that concludes this episode of our 4-part series on tight ends. Again, like the video, share the video, subscribe. We'll be seeing you guys soon. I'm back. We're back. Good to be back. We're going to be doing more videos on all these rookies and the breakdowns. I'm going to start doing some film grinding now that we have everything we need with the NFL draft coming up after this weekend. And we got all our rookie drafts coming up. Our start, on Sunday. I have some that start on Sunday. We have some starting, next week or the following week. But it's rookie season, it's startup season, it's dynasty season now. All right, y'all. See you in the next one. We out.
Thank you.